Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Finding the Spirits Inside. This is Diann Henry. My brother Steve Henry is here as the guide for finding returning to and using these spirits found within. Hello, how are you today?
I'm great, Diane. But let's get this straight. Your brother Steve Henry is showing his sister Diann Henry how to come into the inside of Diann Henry on the inside of Steve Henry's spot inside of her, right next to her in heart by nature. That's what this is.
Okay.
Because the only persons can hear this is the people in this exact character right here. You just can't go out here nothing that's not inside of you. You can't do nothing that's not inside of you. You have to be called from on the inside to do something. That's why he said the man had the two sons, when the one thing, regardless of what they say, the one do it. It opened up from the inside. The one don't do it, it was not open up to him. So how you going to go on a journey that don't open up to you? You know, can you? If you can't see where to go, how you going? Okay, now, but want someone who know where it is because they can read and write. They show you the alphabet. Now, if you don't change away from the alphabet, where you going?
Nowhere.
You have the alphabet and that's it, right? But if you look with the vowels now, you just read right on off because see, the alphabet is the source. It change out through all of those things. It's that same alphabet. Don't nothing come in and nothing go out. They keep changing forms. You agree or disagree? It's the same. Nothing else come involved. It's the same alphabet. Keep changing form. Every time you do it, you got to start from the beginning, but you all that behind you, it's under your feet already. The thing didn't start with your lifetime is going. It started at the beginning of creation. You got to ride on it where you fit in once you get put outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the people out there in the world, the bank robbers, the rapists, and all of these, you think it look wrong to the rapist to rape somebody?
Probably not.
Oh, you think he got a choice? Anytime something has happened out there, that spirit remains out there in the world. You born down here. Now, if your parents ready to see God put inside you, you're going to bring something to fit right here to do good to the world. But when they teach you to go back into history, you're going to be drawn outside and you got to rest inside one of the spirits out in the world. And the only way you can get back in, you got to turn from inside of that spirit and come back inside. There ain't no spirit outside. Don't come back in. They're the devil. They was kicked out there. But the ones who don't go out there, Michael Jackson, them, don't take my word for it. Mash your Google machine button and say Michael Jackson. Hey, what he do, he's doing forever. It's inside. But on the inside of this spot, you be in there with him while you doing it. It's always gonna be. Ain't no nothing coming. Everything is right here, right now. When the people go inside, oh, look here, they set it out. Then they inside, they don't come back. You know, what would Tyler Perry look like coming back to you? He don't know no more than you do about it. He know what he see inside. It's the things you do from inside is different. But if you don't have no way to get back in there, you don't have nothing you've been working on, ain't none of that you got gonna be no good, is it? Because the spirits outside can't come back in. So somebody who got a pathway in, he got to drop it off like seeds. You got to do the seed. Ain't nothing gonna you just ain't gonna walk into nothing and do it. You can just walk into English language and start reading. You got to get the alphabet not knowing where it's going. But once you get it, you got to pass the alphabet to somebody else. You know why?
Why?
Because you got to, your paper got to be graded. You can grade it yourself. If you grade your own paper, you're a fool, ain't you?
Yeah.
But if you show somebody the exact same, see, it's built up. Your thing, for instance, my sister. I called you, asked you to order me something. And what you do? That was the first step in something, you know, what it's doing. It's like the expressway come through town. There's an exit there. The land is there. long distance from the other town. Well, it don't take no rocket science to figure that's a good place to put a gas station or a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna put it down in the swamp somewhere?
No.
Okay, so anytime something is needed from inside, somebody's gonna see it. What you think happened? But being out in the world, you got to chase what? The things that's out in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this spot right here, right now, if you shut the book or turn off what we got, you can't see none of this out there nowhere. Not a single tap. You know that, right?
Okay.
But from here, every time you hear, it's gonna get brighter and brighter and brighter. Out there, it can't get brighter and brighter and brighter too. It's gonna get the opposite, right?
Okay.
Now, right here is access. How long? Is there, do it close it in an hour?
No.
Now, if it get brighter and brighter and brighter, but you over here in this spot and you over there, hey, you smart.
No.
There ain't nobody in there but who? And it's apparent, there's no way you can see your thing. Now, Tyler Perry cannot come here and see this. You know why? He's on the other side of the graph. And this here is took way back there to Adam and Eve. The ones who brought their stuff and edited it. Those are the sheep in the cloud. The lost ones. They got called outside in the world, outside of their own skin. You can't do nothing out there with what somebody showed you, right?
Yep.
Once you get past the alphabet, you got to show it to somebody inside of you. Who else can see it inside of you but you?
No one.
If there was one step out of place, would it get where you're at?
No.
And by you taking the steps when you've done it, can they ever vanish?
No.
They're inside it just like a recorder, right? So when you show it to somebody, that thing you do to show them, it shows you something else. Hey, this and that go together, and guess what they make? But if you don't never show it to nobody, how you gonna see the vials that show them? The thing is inside the seed. The first thing you do, it's got its life inside of it. If you take a corn seed and put it in the ground, you can't do nothing else. You water it and keep the grass off of it. Right?
Okay.
Everything brings forth, earth brings forth fruit itself. I'm sure that Christ said that somewhere back there. I don't listen to your things, but it can't change. Once you see something inside, how it's going to change? Because it's on the inside of you. Once you see the numbers inside, how can anyone change them? But if you don't see them inside, how can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
The inside is inside of you. The outside the world, ain't no two out there can get together for nothing. You're getting away from yourself. How you gonna be inside yourself and outside too with somebody? Can you?
No.
Now, in order for me and you to talk, you got to come over here to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I walk up in your face, you got to come in this spot. Oh, that's Steve. You go into that window, right? You gonna go in Glenn's window when you see me?
Mm-mm.
Is they gonna match?
No.
Can he ever be an imposter or I be an imposter for him?
No.
Anybody else in creation can never show up in this spot.
No. No.
Because all our point of views are different. We see different things. But let's do that. Okay, now let's do that graph, that little movie thing, and then afterwards, I want to put the picture that'll show you how the house is shaped and how it's operating. Because it ain't gonna change once we put it on the video where it's gonna be. I'm gonna give you got the thing on the video, but you got to come on through it. I'm going to show you how. Don't worry. It's easy. Because all the things that's here now, they can't be owned because somebody already owned them. You got to pass through them to get to the other side. In order to get over there with just Bezos in the man, you got to pass by everything between here and there. It's like the numbers. One thing come out after the other. One thing come out after the other. You have to go on through them to get to the next step. You know that, right? In the book, somebody will come and take you over to the other side. It's inside of you. How the hell you gonna find something outside of you? It's impossible. Okay, let's do the video.
Okay.
is one of them all. But you got to do in that order. Just take them in and pass right on by. Now this here is the, let's say a company, let's just say everything works the same way. You got to go them 12 steps. But let's say, for instance, you have the dream. All you'll see is the thing to start. But once you start that thing, it's going to come back to you or something. If you do one of these things, it's going to come back to you. And when it do, you got to teach a person to hold that first grade for you. Exactly like you did. It can't move because if it's just like the alphabet. Once you get the alphabet, you show somebody the alphabet. Same thing with these things. You get one people, you know you got it because you showed it to somebody else. And once they see it, that means you got it. All right. Then when you train them to hold the first grade, you the one the thing open up gonna be you stand on top of them and go to the second step. Okay, you got it. When you get that one, you got to let this person who come last, because you got to write it down as you go, and you because it's written down, it's the record. It stays in this. The writing stay here. This is the business plan. So the new person come in there, and that person come in third. He moves up here. Then you go up again. You got me? So you'll be on this line. Then another person come in and got started one. This one, the last one goes up. The next one goes up. The next one goes up, and you'll be at the board. Otherwise, they got to go that same way. So when they get there, the same to get the 12 all the way around. That's the circle. You feel me? Every time you hire a person, he got to go in every one of these blocks, then come back, then come back. But you go straight up. Once you teach this from that, you don't want to see the next one. Once every time these people come here, it's wrote down. They learning you're doing. It's the same thing. It's like Home Depot. Everybody just go up a notch and then you're coming off the top. You feel me? Did you get that? That's it. All things work like this. Oh. And once you get to the end, you don't stay there. You going off, they come off one by one. You keep going when you accomplish things. You don't stop. Because if you stop right here, you just got to run the company round and round and round all that. That don't make no damn sense. You keep going. Every time you do one of these, there's the city that you have inside. You have to gain the little things like the alphabet, vowels, now those are houses. Well, how you read the Bible? You go read it, and then you go let somebody else read you what you know. That makes sense to you? Because once you can't but one person have the dream. Two people can't do it. You got to show this what you do, and then he show everyone what you showed him. When you get along here, it's the only way it can go is by what it started with, because the things are on the inside. All these, everything works this way on inside of you, but you keep journeying. But if you stop, if you stop right here, you just gonna know that the janitor. That's all you gonna do. Other people gonna pass right by you. All of them don't pass right by you are stuck. And when you're stuck, your ass gonna be fucked up. Come and burn. Hey, I say that common stuff because I be writing on that thing all the time. It works out. Okay. That's it. Okay, yeah, here's what the deal is. It's just like now. I'm showing you what's in my spot. In your character. Anyone come to this spot here, they got to come through you, right? Mm-hmm. Because it ain't gonna be no different than what I'm showing you, but it's seen from your spot inside of them. We solved it a few minutes ago. Glenn got a spot, I got a spot, you got a spot. We ain't no way we three could be together unless we two be with one. You know what I'm saying? Because our spots are inside. If I come to y'all saying something, both of y'all will be in Steve's spot. You feel me? That's what distinguishes them. You don't remember nobody. They have a window open up inside of you. Every time that you come to this spot, it ain't gonna be nothing else in it but what's over here inside of you. So if you grow this spot big, and it's gonna, you know how when he said that I must decrease for him to increase in the 3rd chapter of St. John with John the Baptist. Well, I'm sure we played it because it wouldn't be no sense of being down here on the story without knowing that part. Well, he also say him that with the bride, the one got the bride, that's the bridegroom. You know what that says? The one who got whatever it is. That's the one that got it, right? Whoever got the spot that you don't have, that's the one got the spot. Ain't nobody else gonna have that spot high. We all got different spots. You know, we hear Michael Jackson right now. We know whose spot it is, right? And there's many of Michael Jacksons before and after him. But anyway, put that picture of that little house down and let me break it down, how it works. The picture.
Okay.
You still got time? Uh-oh. What did I do to get what? How do I get down on the bottom? Let's see, I'll tell you something. Okay, there we go. All right, you see how that's that same thing we're talking about. Instead of the numbers, it's the setup. This is a house. That's the temple of God inside of you. It ain't gonna change. The only windows I got open is that very top one. That's me. The one, two down, that number 10, that's my daughter's character. And I got my mom and daddy character, because the things I got from them is inside of me. And that sister character down at number 7, going down the long front, is number 7 on the left side. That's my sister character. That's me and you. Now those are the windows open in this house. Everybody that come to any one of them, everybody that come to that character where you are right now, they in my house, but they gonna be in the sister thing. But there's something else about that sister thing. Look right next to it. It's the one up here. Now who is that? That's the brother, right? The brother and sisters were side by side, right? So with the brother's number 12, where that put the sister?
11.
So well, right there about where the sun at. The sun's supposed to be the first thing off in the white. See number 2 coming down the left side of that? That's where the man leave away from his mother, father. His wife is next on the list there. You see what I'm saying? But that 12 going down, that's the sons and daughters. That's the heirs. That's coming out through you know. But it's not the ones that out in the world, because they're out in the world. That's why when they asked Jesus, say, hey, your mother and your brother, they out there want to see you. He asked them, who is my mother and brother? What do you think he said? The ones who do the things that's inside. Those are the ones that the mother and the brother. You see what I'm saying? Because the ones outside is gonna pass away. How they gonna if they're yours, what good that's gonna do? The ones outside got to change back in. If they don't change back in, what you gonna do? Go out there with them? You got to know the spot to go when to keep from dying. You see, Jesus keeps saying the ones who find this, they won't see this. It's inside of you. You think Michael Jackson did. You think it's just I don't know, what do you think it is come show up when you call to the Google?
I'm sorry.
Who you think show up when you call the Google and say Michael Jackson, any one of his songs? Who you think show up or something new? Or that Michael Jackson working?
Michael Jackson.
Okay, and you call it from the cloud, right?
Okay.
The cloud is inside of you. You receiving my voice inside of you in the cloud. You don't hear it directly, do you? It's being transmitted. I'm talking into the cloud, and on the other side, way away from me, you hearing it, right?
Okay.
Without using this cloud technology from God, how could you? Is it possible? I mean, is it? I mean, I don't know. I ain't been out there. But see that graph, you see the difference in the things coming down. That's the temple. That's the house. All those houses have to be filled. But you just go straight up. Because you got to show what you're doing to somebody, where you're going to be. You get the alphabet. There's no one inside of you but you got to test it. And the way you test it is by, you the only one know the steps was taken to get where you are. You know that, right? That pathway is inside of you. I call you, say, Diann, give me a map. Well, every time you do something, it was something else. But I say, well, hey, I ain't hearing me. Every time I come back to the spot, I see Our talking has moved down here, but the graphs have stayed back there. But you can't stay back there with the graphs. You got to, come on over, follow because see the timeline, it's just like your birthday. It keep going. It keep going. And you got to catch up to it one time. Once you catch up to it, it's a window inside of you, but it's in this spot. You ain't gonna walk over here and catch up to it unless you just be born again, just start over. I just got to show you the truth. You know you're going vain if you look at back 5 minutes. Well, I ain't got to show you, but in order for you to come out from out there, anybody, you got to know the truth. Because if you don't, anything from 5 minutes ago was 5 minutes ago. The thing is unrolling like a giant scroll. Ever since the beginning of time, it's going to roll out to its end and change over. There'll be an end and just be an end of the era, which is, I'm pretty sure you can feel it's inside of everybody. It don't bother the people in the cloud, they good. But anyway, do you see that? Can you see, remember, I'm showing you, as I explain this thing in this graph, can you see, you see anything you don't get?
No.
Yeah, because we ain't coming back to it. Because these things are put in the videotape because you have to go forward the other way. But everyone, you're not trying to stop nowhere on the journey until you get to the inside of yourself. Because you'll be in my spot, which is a gazillion times greater you can possibly imagine. But you can go get your spot first, or you ain't gonna have a spot. You just be inside my everything, but it ain't yours. You can't bring nobody. How you gonna bring? You don't know what. Listen, in order to bring somebody to your spot, you got to be in the spot to guide them to it, right? Okay, now, if you ain't got there, how you gonna guide them to it?
I do have a question. I see real quickly. I noticed that I've seen something like this graph before, and it didn't have these little half things on it. So what?
I put them on there showing you those are the ones I got open. Those are the ones open inside this house that we building now. I got mine open. I got to be there. I keep telling you, I'm in different places. I got my daughter's character, but no, not a particular daughter, any daughter I could ever have, or anybody who find that spot up there, that second one down on the right, that's my daughter's character. That don't mean you my daughter, that's where you come into the house at. So the daughter ain't but a step away from the son. You know what I'm saying? You come into the house, there, you pretty close to the, ain't nobody no damn bigger than the spirits are inside of us.
Well, why isn't this one half then? If this is you and this is me, also.
Right, because in the house got to have windows. This is how you enter. It all got to say everything, but you can't own it. It's the purpose here is how you enter into the Father's house. The Father is the householder. Everything you see, somebody hold that house. The numbers, the one who brought him here. He got a family who helped a corporation. In order for the corporation to work, that's God's stuff. All them places got to be filled. You might have to hold 5 of them, and he got to hold 3. But in order for it to work, all of the posters got to be filled. You know that, right?
Okay.
You can't leave the alphabet vowels now. You can't leave one of them out. All of them got to be filled in. That's why you hear Christ say that he got to have his house filled. Your house got to be full. You can't have the numbers can't have nothing missing. You can't have nothing extra in it either. Each house is filled with its own making. And the alphabet can't have nothing missing, not in there. You see what I'm saying? Everything is, the things are inside of you where you find them. You can't find the color blue inside of you. You can't see it. You don't know what it is. You can't find the Chinese language inside of you. You're looking at it all day long. You can't see it. You follow me?
Okay, well, this is a good place to stop and listen to Luke chapter 5.
Okay.
Chapter 5. And it came to pass that as the people pressed upon him to hear the word of God, he stood by the lake of Gennesaret, and saw 2 ships standing by the lake. But the fishermen were gone out of them, and were washing their nets. And he entered into one of the ships, which was Simon's, and prayed him that he would thrust out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people out of the ship. Now when he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, Launch out into the deep, and let down your nets for a draught. And Simon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all the night, and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word I will let down the net. And when they had this done, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net brake. And they beckoned unto their partners which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both the ships, so that they began to sink. And Simon Peter saw it. He fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. For he was astonished, and all that were with him, at the draught of the fishes which they had taken. And so was also James and John, the sons of Zebedee, which were partners with Simon. And Jesus said unto Simon, Fear not, from henceforth thou shalt catch men. And when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all and followed him. And it came to pass, when he was in a certain city, behold, a man full of leprosy, who seeing Jesus fell on his face, and besought him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And he put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately the leprosy departed from him. And he charged him to tell no man, but go and show thyself to the priest, and offer for thy cleansing, according as Moses commanded, for a testimony unto them. But so much the more went there of fame abroad of him, and great multitudes came together to hear and to be healed by him of their infirmities. And he withdrew himself into the wilderness and prayed. It came to pass on a certain day, as he was teaching, that there were Pharisees and doctors of the law sitting by, which were come out of every town of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was present to heal them. And behold, men brought in a bed a man which was taken with a palsy. And they sought means to bring him in, and to lay him before him. And when they could not find by what way they might bring him in because of the multitude, they went upon the housetop, and let him down through the tiling with his couch into the midst before Jesus. And when he saw their faith, he said unto them, Man, thy sins are forgiven thee. And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, Who is this man which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God alone? But when Jesus perceived their thoughts, he answering said unto them, What reason ye in your hearts? Whether is easier to say, Thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, Rise up and walk? But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power upon earth to forgive sins, he said unto the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, Arise, and take up thy couch, and go into thine house. And immediately he rose up before them, took up that whereon he lay, and departed to his own house, glorifying God. And they were all amazed, and they glorified God, and were filled with fear, saying, We have seen strange things today. And after these things he went forth and saw a publican named Levi sitting at the receipt of custom. And he said unto him, Follow me. And he left all, rose up, and followed him. And Levi made him a great feast in his own house. And there was a great company of publicans and of others that sat down with them. But their scribes and Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, Why do ye eat and drink with publicans and sinners? And Jesus answering said unto them, They that are whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. And they said unto him, Why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers, and likewise the disciples of the Pharisees, but thine eat and drink? And he said unto them, Can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. And he spake also a parable unto them. No man putteth a piece of a new garment upon an old. If otherwise, then both the new maketh a rent, and the piece that was taken out of the new agreeth not with the old. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles, and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. No man also having drunk old wine straightway desireth new, for he saith, the old is better.
Okay, so that is it for this lesson. Thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon.